Hello everyone. Nebula 54 last week completed the Defend Galaxy event for the first time. Here we're going to look at doing phase 1 of the event. All alliances can take part in this event as all the fortresses open up for attacking. It's not just the guard cities, which is what everyone thinks it is. But for the most part, it will be the alliances that sit beside those guard cities that end up in the top 4 unless they just don't take part, which is of course the objective of the event. If you finish in the top 4, you move on to phase 2 of Defend Galaxy, which is where you battle for the Imperial City itself. I'll cover that in another video because it's a bit much to go into in this video, so do make sure you subscribe to see that. I have to say, this was probably my favourite event in all of Infinite Galaxy. The sense of community from seeing so many players from many alliances all trying to compete for the same thing was just, it's so cool to see. I had my other accounts all up on my other monitors and I was watching what every other alliance was doing at the same time, and just seeing everyone battle it out, trying to get into this top 4, trying to get as many points as they can, trying to get number 2, 3, 4. It really did make the past 3 months of grinding for this event worth it. Even if we didn't get number 1, I would have been happy to just be part of this. It's really cool to see, and I hope everyone that's watching eventually gets the chance to do it because it is so much fun. It is a grind, but the sense of community is completely different from when you're doing the fortresses solo and you're just working for your own alliance. Just seeing that many players all battling for the same thing, I can't stress that enough. I was so happy during it, just to watch other players all battling it out for the same objective. Anyway, so phase 1 is where the guard cities and all fortresses open up for attack, and you can attack the city itself or the pillars around it over a 2-hour period. If you successfully capture and hold these structures, you will gain points over time, in addition to any points you gain from killing guards and the fleets within the structures themselves. For our first attempt, we were greatly misinformed of the starting power of the pillars in the city, so we got a bit too cocky. We had fleets 3 and 4, our extra fleets, at another fortress to farm points, while our 2 main fleets sat in the cities. Turns out the cities and the pillars and even the guards inside those systems were a huge challenge, so we quickly returned those 2 extra fleets and focused everything on that city system. And I think you will need to do as well, and until you're in like the super late game with tier 10 ships, you're probably going to need to focus everything on these cities. If you have more than enough power to take the cities and the pillars in quick enough time, sure, you can go off and do fortresses as well, but if it's anything like our experience, it was a lot of effort to just take the city and get everyone's times coordinated, without everyone missing the attacks. So you might want to just focus everything on the city so no one has any split attention and no one misses an attack. There's a few strategies for how to approach this challenge. I'm not even sure Concord, our alliance, did the best method, but thankfully we still came out on top, and you'll see why later in the video. If you know a really good strategy, please let us know in the comments. I'd love to try some new things in the next Defend Galaxy. The first thing you should do is clear the guards. I think we made the mistake here of not clearing them. We basically sent our main fleets to attack the city straight away and left all of our backup fleets to clear the guards. I think life would have been a lot easier if we just got rid of all the guards and focused on the structures after that, because they kept interrupting our attacks or taking people away, and people will get confused and try and help someone out, but then they won't be there for the main attack. So as with any big battles, you want to focus your firepower to be on an exact time that everyone arrives, especially with the guard city. It's so powerful that it will be destroying your fleets in a second, so you want everyone to hit it at the exact same time so that your power is maximized, and it's not wiping out one fleet one at a time again and again and again, because you're not going to get anywhere if that's what you're doing. You may as well be attacking individually. So as for the 2 choices that you have, after clearing the guards, you can attack the pillars around the city. These start at about 120 to 150 million, and they should only take 1 or 2 attempts from your main fleet to clear those. They're not that hard. especially if you're in one of the top 4 alliances, which you probably will be if you're attempting a guard city. Once those are all captured, you move on to the city. Or you can do what we do and focus on the city first. If you click on the city details, you'll see that the points for holding a structure per second is a lot more in the city than it is in the pillars. So we ended up going for that. We attacked the city first and then went for the pillars. I think we made the right call in the end, because in the end, of course, we came out on top. We came out number 1. But it does definitely drain your fleets at the start way more than attacking the pillars would have. The city itself starts at 550 million. That's what I'm talking about when it wipes you out instantly. 550 million against one fleet, you've got no chance. It's going to wipe you out straight away. So you definitely want to be one in the top 4 alliances. You need to even challenge the city itself. You'll probably need over, I'd say, 700 million at a minimum to take on, and even for that you'll need a lot of people online all at the same time, and you'll have to time your attacks perfectly. For us, we had just overtaken the 1 billion mark, so I knew that we could take it eventually. It just took a lot of attempts, and because we're a multinational alliance, we couldn't get everyone on at the same time, so we had a little bit less. So I'd say we'd probably be about the 800 mark anyway, because we were missing some people from being multinational. Whichever way you decide to do it, the main thing you want to do is do it as quick as possible. Encourage your members to teleport right beside the city system, especially the people that are using cruisers, as they will be the people that are slowing you down. The cruisers are just, even with the short distance that you have to travel, you will notice it when you're trying to do things as quick as possible. I'm sure you already have in past events. After capturing the city, if you're lacking in points, again you have 2 options. The first is to contest the claim of other alliances by entering their guard city systems and battling for control of either their cities or their pillars or both. It will remove points from that alliance and gain points for yourself. This will definitely be bloody, and thankfully it was avoided in our server thanks to some good diplomacy between all the top 4 alliances. We all agreed what would happen in this event beforehand, 2 weeks in advance, so I encourage you to do that before doing any of these. Just figure out with your server what's happening, and then you can kind of agree who's going to be leader or not. If there's any disputes, you know who you're going to be attacking at least. It's not going to be just a free-for-all. The second option that you have is to continue the friendly competition, which is of course what we did, by going into fortresses to gain some points. The points gained from fortresses is not gained over time, you just get victory points. So that's victory points for killing guards and victory points for capturing the structures themselves. We found that it was more efficient to just go between each fortress, kill all the guards and move on. The structures themselves didn't provide that many points. In fact, you'd get more points from killing the fleets inside the structures. It's not a bad thing to do, it's just easier to tell people to spread out and go kill every guard in every fortress, and you'll get a lot more points that way. So how did Concord win despite being behind at the beginning? Well, like I mentioned, we captured the city first before any of the other alliances could even start capturing the city, and all of the other alliances captured pillars. Pillars give less points over time, so we went for the long game. We were hoping that the amount of points that we gained from an early capture of a city would overtake any points that any other alliance had. And I think that would have been enough, but we wanted to secure our victory. So what we did is we travelled over to our sister alliance, who were in complete control of another guard city system, and we battled for 2 of their pillars. We just negotiated that we could take 2, because the objective of this sister alliance was just to be in the top 4. It didn't need to be number 1, for example. We wanted Concord to be number 1. So we took 2 of those pillars, and that made it a sure fact that we were going to get number 1, because no one could contest against 6 pillars and a city, counting up. Like I said, that was probably not needed since we captured the city first, and no other alliance captured the city until pretty late into the event, but again, we wanted to secure that number 1 spot. Anyway, thanks so much for watching this video. If you found it helpful, please consider giving it a thumbs up and consider subscribing. Only 1% of my viewers are actually subscribed. Pretty much everyone that watches these videos is coming from searches or recommended videos, so please do commit to subscribing. It really helps boost the channel. If you have any input, any better suggestions how to do this event, or you just want to share your experiences, comment below. I love hearing the different strategies that other nebulas come up with, so do let me know how you did it. Thanks again for watching, and I hope you all have a wonderful day.